So today is actually Wednesday, but all the stuff happened yesterday on Tuesday. Um, and this is again back on the election stuff, so we're gonna always be there for our next couple of weeks. Um, I really need to stop saying that. So basically today, Ben Shelly, the president of the Navajo Nation, went ahead and vetoed the legislation to amend the Navajo fluency requirement for president of the Navajo Nation. So that was rescinded. And it says right down there, it says the election cycle has been marred in debate, controversy over issues regarding the fluency qualifications of candidates for elected office. The Navajo Nation Supreme Court has weighed in on the meaning and interpretation of fluency in Sosi vs. Deschini on September 26, 2014, and has provided an interpretation of the meaning of the standard for fluency. This should be the standard until the people have been consulted. And then it says Dene language is sacred. Navajo leaders should have both languages and cultural influence in order to qualify. Every society has an obligation to hold on to their tradition. If we lose our language, we lose our culture. Who are we? So, if we lose our thing, our language and our culture. Because if we do lose our language, especially within our own government, it starts a stepping stone of where we can start whittling away more and more of our cultural beliefs, our cultural standing, our cultural understanding of how the ecosystem works within ourselves to walk in harmony and walk in beauty. If those things are taken away, especially if our language is taken away, then we simply become a people with nothing. And I've met people that don't have a cultural identity. They don't even have not even a spiritual identity, but not even a self-identity. And that's kind of really sad. I mean, they have a culture, they have the American culture, but that's really not a basis of like family values and stuff. There are, but you go into religion and stuff and beliefs and I kind of feel bad, especially when I was going to school and stuff, that people didn't have an identity of self more than an identity of culture. So, but do we all have that nationalism culture? We're all red-blooded Americans. We all shoot guns, eat McDonald's, and hey, we're all good old boys, But we're also a melting pot within the United States. So, and once the culture loses everything, they don't know what they are, especially the young people. So we go straight into it. And this is one of the parts about the veto. He says, although deliberative conversation should occur not on hasty action weeks before the scheduled election date. In Sandoval, the Navajo Nation Supreme Court found that a change to election qualifications enacted prior to election was reasonable and a valid law. Sandoval 12, in that case, the change to election qualifications that disqualified candidate who had been elected was enacted 4 months prior to the election. So there you go. He's basically stating there has not been a precedent where the council has come in, changed the law to help one person. And of course it goes down into the bottom part. I understand some people will be upset by my decision today, but it's important that we avoid civil unrest such as occurred in 1988, 89. We have responsibility to ensure each other's safety and well-being. And that's basically to the McDonald incident. McDonald was taken out of office and 200 people stormed the building to put him back in power. And it was a very tumultuous time then. Very tumultuous. It was crazy. There was so much uproar. And we did it before, and we can definitely do it again. So, be very wary of calling to arms and stuff, especially over an issue like this with Deschini. And so he vetoed that. And then, within hours of the veto occurring, this legislation was brought forward, written up, and presented by Leonard Sosi. He's also one of the representatives within the council. He's also the one that sponsored the other legislation, which has been vetoed. And he's going to try and get it to go ahead and be vetoed to not veto. Well, veto the president's. What is this? To veto the president's veto and overturn it, so that we can get that on there. And I don't know about you, but that's totally wrong. It's wrong on so many different levels. It's already gone through the council. The council approved it, but the president's vetoed it. There's a lot of people who do not want this to occur. I, for one, do not want this to occur. And here you go. So there's a lot of stuff on there. And there's a lot of people who totally believe that it should be done. And they've given into that idea of, that honeysuckle idea of what someone has told them to believe, which honestly they really need to learn about what Destiny is, what he stands for, who he is, basically. Because if he can stand up there and directly 100% try and disregard the Supreme Court's order and even incite the elected election board to side with him, then what type of leader is he truly, And a lot of people are thinking about that. And he's even said on his own, and there's the other one. It broke at 3:04 today. Is it that one? Yeah, it's that one. So yeah, so it was a very tumultuous time today, earlier today, and I've just been watching it and waiting. So yeah, we'll go over to Destiny's Facebook real quick. So, and then at one time said he suspended his bid and his run. But yeah, that's what it is. And here's Destiny. He says, it was a very tumultuous time. It is with tumultuous pride in our campaign and disappointment with the president's veto that the future of my candidacy is uncertain. The Board of Election Supervisors has firmly protected our fundamental right to choose our own leaders. They have yet changed their positions by the court's determination. Regardless of the outcome, words cannot express the pride, gratitude I have in my family, my friends, my staff, my supporters who stood by me through this process. You have carried yourself with honor, calm, and I want to see this continue. The nation needs this to continue. It's too early to speculate the future of my service to the Navajo people. I have spent my career helping solve serious problems facing our nation. Again, thank you for contributing to our democratic process. Your voices needs to be heard. Vote, and let's walk together with pride and peace. I don't believe you. I really do not believe him. It's just him talking. It says, I'm still on the ballot. Please vote for me. Continue to vote for me. It's just a lot of him trying to say things that, he's just trying to keep himself within the public light. And I, for one, I don't want him as president. I don't want him anywhere near anybody else as president. Let's go over the Navajo Times. So those are the two big things that occurred today. Oh, well, with the election at any rate, anyway. So, yeah. So, that all occurred. Computer is having a brain fart. I think it has computer herpes. So yeah. So, and then there's people who are saying things. They're trying to make it sound like Shelly got paid off, but there's one thing that probably most people don't know is that Shelly's own lawyer. She went and quit on him. So because she quit, lawyers from the Navajo Nation division that's over in Washington that lobby for a lot of our stuff here on the reservation, because we have to have lobbyists up there. We can't just go directly and talk to the federal branch of the government to assist us, even though our treaty does state that, we talk directly with the federal government. Now we have to lobby for a lot of our stuff, a lot of things that are going on here. So 2 of the lawyers from Washington had to fly back here, and they had to become Shelly's advisors on the issues, which is very interesting, because why in everything that's going on, why would a lawyer go ahead and resign who was basically giving legal advice to Ben Shelly? And like I said, there's a lot of things going on. People are saying he got paid off. He's just supporting Shirley. I don't support Shirley. Nobody else should support Shirley. He shouldn't even be on the ballot to be elected. But yeah. So here we are. And this is just his thing. You can find it on Navajo Nation Times. Navajo Times. President reads his veto message on Tuesday in Window Rock, Arizona. So that's where it is. And that's what's going on. And on another note, the Hopi tribe has started their aggressive acts out there on HPLA lands, and has started to round up sheep and horses and livestock in their scorched earth policy to move people off of Big Mountain. So it's very interesting that this stuff starts happening during the time that we're having this election stuff go on. And you got to give them the Hopis some good handshake, great way to play politics, because now they're doing this, and they're not being extremely bad, but they are doing things that are tactics that were used against a lot of tribes and a lot of Native Americans beforehand, before the act of self-governance and stuff started. So it's very sad. There are Native families who aren't very happy right now, and they are living in fear. I'm not kidding you. Check out his blog post. He talks about a lot of the things I've been talking about. This Cheney lied. He was lying from the beginning. He was willfully disobeying the Supreme Court, their judgment and stuff. So he talks about that too. And there was the Shelly vetoes bill to put Disney back on the ballot. That's on my page. There's the breaking news 10 hours ago. That is also on my page. There's the other one. That was for the board going behind closed doors. That occurred on Monday. And of course there's my own little spiel. And there he is. That's for the being held in contempt of court. So that's what's going on. Again, very tumultuous times, very, 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 very crazy things going on. And that's where we're at. So until we know more, the election looks like it's being postponed until they get that other legislation talked about and stuff. But there are a lot of people who aren't wanting it. So please, if you're a Navajo, you're a registered voter, please contact your local chapter office and inform them that you don't want it. Get online to Navajo. Let's see if we can do it in 2 minutes. Navajo Nation.